Hey, LaRock, Percent Off Collector, and we're here with another action figure unboxing and review. And this time we have also a vehicle, which is always awesome because I'm not normally a vehicle collector, mainly because of space and cost. But in this case, woo boy, did I get something hot and awesome. And we're going to be looking at it right now. So this is the G.I. Joe Classified Duke and Ram. And if you've been watching this channel for a little bit, first, thank you. But you may notice that I like a couple of things. Of course, I love my Women of Action figure, which, by the way, besides asking you to subscribe and like and all this stuff for this channel, check out our channel, Women of Action Figure. That's exactly what it is. You guys who know this channel have seen me talk about it, but now we have our own channel that is just Women of Action Figure, and you can find that in the description below. Now, as far as this here, as I said, most of the time I don't get vehicles, but in this case, the fact that I was able to get this at an awesome price is like, man, I just had to get it. And this is the G.I. Joe Classified Series Duke and Ram from Tiger Force. Now, Tiger Force I am not familiar with. I'm a old-fashioned, you know, the real American hero. That was my jam. I'm that old guy that did that. But as I said, this thing is awesome. I love the G.I. Joe Classified series, so either way, I was gonna get this if I found it on sale, and in this case, I found it with an incredible deal. And I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that, including some price information, which I guess adds more of a date to these reviews, but I wanted to try and provide some more information now that I've been doing this for about a year. But first, let's just take a look at back here, and you can see basically what you're getting. You're getting that Ram cycle. You're getting the figure. I mean, I assume this is how he looked in Tiger Force. Like I said, I watched maybe a few clips on YouTube or something, but I haven't. I don't really know Tiger Force, so I assume just from the classified line that they did well as far as how he looked. For me, I just want to see how the figure looks overall, and the vehicle as well. And like I said, I really haven't been disappointed with any figures. I mean, maybe the G.I. Joe Origin stuff wasn't great, but I never had any problem with any of the figures that I have gotten so far. So with a lot of these, the accessories come in these little boxes that are like, you know, like the ammo crate. And I really like the way how that looks with the little passcode or something. I mean, maybe he'll trigger some people because of loot boxes, but I actually think it's cool. In the background here, you'll see him in his little, well, I guess this is like a cardboard type. It's not plastic, so that's that. So I'm going to take this out of here, and it's got this butcher paper inside, and you know, this box is actually pretty decent. I've been actually stepping up some of my reselling of things that I find at garage sales. Most of it that is not going to be relevant really to this channel anymore, because a lot of stuff I've been reselling has been like cameras and stuff, just because it's quick and easy, and a lot of resellers actually don't go after digital cameras. But so here you go. Here is how it's just looking, and I just think that's just great. That's a great profile right there as it is. And I do know, you know, from the little bit I've seen in other channels about Tiger Force, that, you know, there's a little bit more design, has a little bit more of that 90s flair to it than even G.I. Joe. Even though, I mean, even though it was the 80s, I mean, G.I. Joe had some flair. You saw some of the colors on a lot of the characters and stuff, especially like you know, Zorana and stuff like that. I guess what we could do is just look first at what we get accessories wise, because to me that's always cool. I love accessories. I really like though how they even wrap around the accessories here with cardboard to give it that extra protection, which is nice. So you can see the gun. I assume this ain't Roadblock, so I assume that, you know, he can, I guess he'll be able to hold this. I don't know, but it really goes on the on the bike. I assume that's the way that this is designed to go on the bike. But either way, that's just cool as it is. Let's get this paper out the way. That's just cool as it is. And then I guess this is part. Is that part of the armor, or is this just go together? Yeah, I guess so. I actually got. Oh, is this the box for it? Like the ammo box for it? Is that like the sidecar and then the ammo? Okay, I see. Makes sense. I mean, I was pretty much just looking at it on the box, but you know, I'm getting old and senile, so you know, I'm forgetting about it. So that's basically how it goes. It'll mount on its sidecar, and then you have the backpack. It's really funny because one of the things that is awesome about, especially the way I collect, I buy a lot of loose stuff. I mean, eventually, I think I'm just going to do a video just showcasing, especially over the last 4 or 5 months, I've gotten so much loose stuff just because of how many deals I've been getting. And I want to talk to that a little bit in a second, but the reason I mentioned that is because I have so many accessories. And I have like a little drawer. I mean, it's tiny. It's like, think about those little plastic drawers that people might keep either makeup or, you know, small tools like screws and stuff in. But I have a bunch that has like, one is just dedicated to backpacks. Then we got, oh, is this the binoculars? Yeah, it looks like binoculars. So that's cool. It's kind of weird that kind of was just out there. These feel a little bit harder to get to, so I'm going to use the old razor blade so I can see, and I assume these are his weapons, right? I thought I cut through that, did I not? Jeez. Alright. Oh, maybe that's... Wow, was this in here and it just slid out? I guess, right? Because there's nothing in there. Alright, so let's see. This one. So this should be his gun. Yep. So this is his gun, and you know, it's kind of plain actually. Normally I'm really impressed with the classified guns just because, I mean, actually the thing is I don't really know guns in real life, so I mean, this could just be how, you know, a plain machine gun of this type looks. So if someone knows that that's true, that's fine, but I don't know. I kind of like it when they take a real world weapon but make it look a little bit more sci-fi. You know, it's kind of like Batman armor, you know, when it's like he could have armor that doesn't really look all flashy, but it kind of looks cool, or like Arkham Knight or Red Hood, like the way that armor looks. I kind of like when they take something that is realistic but add just enough little flair to make it its own thing and make it look cool. Alright, so let's take this guy out. So while I'm doing this, let me tell you, I know that a lot of collectors, especially people who don't have a lot of money, may often feel discouraged about like garage sales, estate sales, and Facebook Marketplace. So, you know, one of the things I want to do with this channel is try to encourage people that if they want to collect, there's so many ways you can do it. Because for certain people, I break all types of rules that people have, and some people, you know, would disagree with how I go. But I think with collecting, as long as you're not doing anything that is causing you or anybody any financial or any other type of harm, there really isn't any wrong way. And what I mean by that is I'm the kind of person that I like volume more, because it's not, you know, there's some things that I really like, you know, like I love Soundwave, and I love the cassettes. So there's things that I'll go out and buy, but at the same time, even if it's not from exactly when I grew up, there's a lot of things that I look for. So I just realized that, especially in the summer, there are so many people, especially I live out near Seattle, so there's a lot of people that have various collections, and the ones that are loose, those are the ones that are still around at the end of the day. And the first things to go is usually everything in the box, because it's either the hardcore collectors who get out there early, or it's more likely the resellers. But a lot of resellers really just bypass um, loose figures, and I can kind of explain why, because I actually talked to some people, and let's just be clear, since I do reselling too, and just in general, I don't hate on any reseller. um, you do what you got to do, man. You make that money. I'm just telling you that, as people sometimes say, you will run into a situation where you won't be able to find exactly what you want because a reseller got there earlier than you and was able to get it. But we'll continue with that in a second. I just wanted to show you like how this is looking. This is looking pretty sweet. Um, it's a pretty good size. I mean, like when you put him next to it, I mean, obviously it's supposed to scale so he can ride on it. But looks really awesome. I mean, I know that a lot of Tiger Force stuff has like the faces on it and like that, and that's not actually anything weird. If you look at all types of military shows, especially like Top Gun and stuff, there's paintings and pictures that people will put on some of the vehicles and stuff like that. So I think it's cool. I mean, it's lightweight, but it feels good. Like, I mean, all this is plastic, but these wheels feel good. I mean, it rolls beautifully. I mean, listen, you don't hear anything. I mean, that just looks nice. The coloring, yeah, it's bright, and it being kind of like a tiger with the stripes here, like that Chester Cheetah color, or Tony the Tiger, I guess, maybe. But I still think it looks cool. I even like just little stuff like here. These are all little points which I don't know if it's just a regular aesthetic or it's almost like when you had the originals and you had all these stickers. You literally would have a sticker like that to put wherever you want. You'd have a little sticker like that. Like when I had the Dreadnought, what's his name? Ripper? No, not Ripper. The guy who actually drove the Dreadnought vehicle, I forgot his name now. But like that one had stickers where like this would have been a sticker, where it says G.I. Joe would have been a sticker you put on. And it's like you'd get like a big thing of stickers. The flag would be a sticker and all that. So it's interesting. And I just think that having that on the vehicle is cool. And I think here the cockpit's nice. It's kind of weird though. This seems like the front here seems a little too low. Like, what is this shading actually? It seems like this should be a little bit higher, but so it looks like, hey, you do have the control with the top. Sometimes, people think it doesn't matter, but the fact that you can actually turn the wheel by turning that is nice. Doesn't look like anything else moves on it. I'm trying to see though. There's no, I thought that this was like a kick. Oh, here it is. The kickstands. So here's the underneath. So I guess the kickstands like that. But I wonder, oh, I guess it has to be, yeah. I just had it wrong, so let me scroll out so you can see it. So that's how it's supposed to be if you don't have the actual, I guess, sidecar connected yet. But I can definitely show you what it looks once you do. But let me show you now Duke himself. So, I mean, if anyone's familiar with any of the, oh, I guess that's strange. His holster here, is that supposed to be for this? Otherwise, I would be missing something, because I did check the box just to make sure something didn't fall. Oh, nope, I did not. So I take that back. There's a gun that did slip out. So I guess that was what was in there. Or maybe both. Maybe the binoculars and the handgun was in there, but this is a handgun. So if you're familiar with the G.I. Joe Classified series, you'll know that it has, really good articulation. So we just go quickly through it. You got the ball here on the feet, so you can turn that all around. I mean, look at all that you can do with the ankle and all that. And then you have the double joints, of course, that allows you to get that good pulsability, movement with the knee. Looks like, yeah, you have your hip, the cut at the hip here, which I really think blends in well. Like, sometimes it sticks out more, but here it's not that bad. Here it's kind of interesting that it's covered up with that. It kind of, yeah, it does. Oh no, it was a little stiff, but actually no, that does not impede moving it at all, actually. You got the rotation with the leg, pretty normal there. You got the, like I said, you got the belt and you got the hip holster, both movable. I don't know if you can remove it. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. If I'm wrong, let me know if this is removable, but I don't see it. And then you have the ab crunch, which I love that sound. Listen to that. That's nice. And of course you can also turn the waist, so that's cool as well. On the hands, they're pretty malleable, meaning you can open them and you see it close back. You can turn the wrist. You got the double joints on the elbow, which is good, especially when you're holding different weapons and stuff like that. I just love all the like belts, the bandolier he has across here with, doesn't that look like the Matrix? Tell me that doesn't look like it could be the Matrix. I mean, the center part is different, but wow, that looks, does Duke has the Matrix of leadership as well? That's pretty cool. I like the design with this, how he's got the little shirt. I mean, you can see like little paint issues in here like that. He has a scar across the eye, the chiseled chin and all that. I actually kind of forgot the bicep you could turn here as well. So that helps you really get gun aims and different poses and punches. And of course you got the full rotation with the shoulder. And then with the head, same thing. You got a good range of looking down, looking up, turning your head to the side, all that. So pretty awesome. And I mean, just in general, like, I'm not doing any posing or anything, but I mean, basically when you have him on the bike, I mean, that's not bad at all. Oops, I went the wrong way. That's not bad at all. Let's put him on the little turntable so you just get a look while I talk a little bit more about how I got this. And I love my new little turntable. You guys like this? Cause I like it. Let me put it back some. So a lot of times when people are going to an estate sale or a garage sale or something like that, and it's bouncing back and forth because it's actually hitting the back wall, but I actually don't have a problem with that right now. I'll do a better spin later, but this actually isn't that bad. So as I said, yes, you're going to run into people that show up early. I've had people tell me straight up, after they had put a message in bold, big letters, "Do not show up early," I would get there and they'd be like, "Oh, well, someone showed up at 6 a.m. and, threw money at me." So let me just put that clear. That isn't one of those YouTube things that only happen with fancy or well-off buyers. Nope, that happens a lot. And I actually ended up meeting some, and like I said, not jerks, not bad people, but it's serious business. And for me, it can never be like that. I'll show up on time. I'll show up 10 minutes early, but I'm not camping someone's house. Because there's many cases where the person says, "I'm not going to talk to you until 9. And the thing is that some people, it really boils down to how much they really want that money. And if you're having a garage sale, you probably do. You sometimes do run into cases where someone will be like, "Hey, I, want to make money, but I'm going to stick to my guns. You cannot buy this right now." But still in a way, if the person's there at 6 a.m., unless it starts at 9, they're still probably going to be first, and they're still probably going to throw a wad of money. The only thing that I ever witnessed, and didn't happen to me, but I heard someone say it, and this is a total dick move, and if you see people do this, then they're a dick. I'm just going to be straight up with you. And that is when they throw a high number hoping to grab an item from you. Like, I saw that happen to someone. And here's the thing, it had nothing to do with toys. It was actually, I think, China or just some kind of like dinnerware, but I guess it was fancy. And it was an older lady, and the older lady told another lady that I guess they were going to be $5 for it. And the lady's like, "Oh wow, that's so wonderful. I know these cost more than that." So it was clear that this was an item that costs a lot. And basically this other person comes in and was like, "Well, I'll give you 20 for it." and you just see the look on the lady's face. She's like, like she didn't turn around or anything, but her look was like she wanted to just snap that lady's neck. But the funniest thing was the older lady basically was like, no, we already made a deal and I'm gonna honor it. And the lady who was offering 20 was so mad, just turned around with a huff and just basically power walked back to her car. But look, the fact of the matter is that's probably not gonna happen all the time. If you get confronted with money, people are, and I'm not gonna fault anyone for saying, hey, I'm gonna take this, 50, 100, 200, $500, even if the guy showed up at 6 a.m. I mean, there are people hurting out there. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about little tips that I run across when I'm buying figures. But one of the reasons why I mention all this is that, so this was new in the box. I got this from a garage sale, and I got a great price actually on the final day, just because this was an item that I guess resellers didn't care about. I mean, it wasn't brought out later or anything like that. It was just there waiting for me. And I went and I did talk to the person. I treated the person like, a human being and had a conversation. And that's when they ended up giving me that deal for this. And that's another thing too, is to talk like a human being to people. It doesn't hurt to smile and say good morning or good afternoon or whatever. Sometimes that alone can mean the difference between a deal or no deal. So I think that, another thing with loose action figures is that's another thing resellers often don't go after unless they see it's like, some rare He-Man or something like that. They'll go after it. But for the most part, they're not, you'll be able to find loose figures for a much cheaper price. So before I tell you what I paid, let me just give you a little price history on this. So this item itself was released in 2023, so last year. And basically when it started, the price was around $70. It even peaked at one point, as far as auctions and stuff, to 78. But of course, with auctions, that can vary why, it ended up being that price. But so after that, it started its downward trend, and it dropped to like 68. Then basically from the 60s all the way down into the 50s. And it's even dropped as low as around $25 and stuff like that. And basically after that, just to see here, this is where his backpack goes in. So and that's pretty much where it stayed. It's been around the $25 mark as far as eBay listings. So that's kind of a key too. If you know what an item is worth, it almost might behoove you. It might be a good idea to check, like the same way they check to see how many things sold, what the price it's selling for, how many are up for sale. That can give you as a collector an idea of how hard it's going to be to acquire. Because if you are seeing auctions for the last, at least according to this graph, almost year, that it's been around $30 and less. That for so many resellers is just not worth it. It just isn't. So they're going to leave that stuff away. They're going to turn away from that kind of stuff, and you're going to be able to sneak in and get it. Just as far as prices, at the time when this was recorded, which was basically July 1st, you could get this brand new on Amazon for about $32. And it's sold out as far as on Hasbro to get that. So how much did I pay? An awesome amount of $5. I mean, the guy actually had it listed at for $10, which was also a great deal, but he ended up giving it to me for $5. So I realized what this other little hole back here for. That's for this. You can see here, You're able to put this in, and then there we go. So that's awesome. All right, so yep, I got this for $5, so that gets a super woo woo baby. So that is just sweet. So I'm gonna put this sidecar on, and we're gonna get a final look at Duke and his RAM. So let me just show you how this works. So basically it goes on the inside, as you can tell from the picture. So you got the two sides, and then this basically slips in. Of course, you want the wheel on the bottom, that's your indicator, and you can see it's set so that the handle is sticking out there. This goes around, the back handle goes around here, and then it's just a simple matter, well, simple for most humans, maybe not me, of clicking this on, and then you can see how it sticks out. You see how the handle sticks out, you see the gun there, and you see the wheel underneath. And then basically it's also foolproof, because sometimes I'm the fool, and that goes right here into the side. So you got that, boom, and there you go. So look, we can put him backwards because he's gangster style. Woo, gangster. Yeah, he doesn't need no backpack. Woo, look at that. Let me zoom out so you see that correctly. Yeah, look at that. He's having fun, man. He's making a TikTok video right now. So yeah, as far as price, really good. Now this chart that I was looking at, which is actionfigure411.com, it pulls from a lot of different places. There's even prices where people have saw it for up to $19.99, so as low as $19.99. So I think that's pretty awesome in itself. So I always say that don't be discouraged just because someone will be camping out an estate sale or a garage sale. Also, always strike up a conversation. One of the things that they do say on YouTube that I completely agree with is ask a question, because there's been many people where I've said, hey, do you have video games? Hey, do you have action figures? And they pull out a crate and made my day. And you can find sales, especially if you're willing to get loose figures. Sundays is 50% off, but obviously the inventory is going to be much lower. So these are all tips that you have to take and apply to how you collect. But I hope that you like this little more information than just the review. It's a little bit longer, so we'll see how it does. If I'm a little bit too long-winded, then I'll slow it and make it shorter for the next time. But either way, this is a really nice figure. It's a really awesome price. I love having another classified vehicle for my collection, and that's about it, guys. Hey, thanks for checking out the channel, and if you like what you've seen, please consider giving us a like, comment, a sub, all that stuff. It really helps the algorithm as we try to make a push to reach out to more collectors that, like me, like to get that discount, because you know how I say, no discount, no deal. All right, catch you later.